Hey guys, what's up? Just wanted to come and talk to y'all a little bit tonight. Hope all are doing well. And what I want to talk to y'all about is just not being afraid, and specifically not being afraid of looking in extra biblical texts. Some of the best information that I've gotten has come out of the Nag Hammadi scriptures. Those are the, like secret writings of John, the Gospel of Thomas, the writings of James, and Enoch, you know, books that the Bible talks about, but they didn't put them in there. I just want to encourage y'all to get in those and research them out. The Father, through Christ, said, "Seek and you will find. Ask and you will receive. Knock and the door will be opened." I'm encouraging y'all to seek and to find these things. Jesus didn't tell us where to find it. He didn't say seek only in the Bible that'll be written after my death, and only in the King James version. He told us to just seek. These books, I believe the reason why they didn't put them in the Bible, what you call canon, is because they gave us a great deal of information to help lead and guide us to the truth. I believe it's because they gave us a great deal of information to help set us free, from this world, to not get trapped by the flesh. And like I've been telling y'all, a lot of the things that I'm going to be saying and going to be putting out in my videos are going to be some hard pills for people to swallow. And just because you don't know it is truth doesn't mean it's not true. I was speaking with someone tonight on a Facebook post, and they said, well, that's why they put it in Revelation, that cursed is anyone that adds to or takes away. Well, I think some good questions to ask is, first and foremost, was that ever even in the original text when John wrote it? We have to answer that question. Two, if it was, they kind of said, well, you got to be careful for the adding to. And I'm like, well, why does it always have to be added to? Why can't it be if someone took away? Let's suppose that statement, John really wrote it. One, you have to understand that Revelation itself is not the last book of the New Testament. As a matter of fact, it was written around the middle of the New Testament. None of the books, very few of the books that you read in your New Testament in the Bible are written, are recorded, as far as what we have in our text, are recorded as they were written. They're not in the right order at all. And you can just do a quick little study on that, and you'll find out that they're not written in order. This is why the Christ told us to seek this information out. What's up, Kingdom? Love you too, man. Christ said, why do the people always listen to the Pharisees and the scribes? That we're not to pay attention to the pen of the scribes. As Kingdom of Truth, my brother, and Derek Bros from Global Witness, and many others have been telling us, but we get so programmed because we listen to that pen. We follow the pen of the scribes. We listen to the Pharisees and the Sadducees of today, which are your pastors and your ministers. And you got to realize, which in my video where I'll do my testimony, I was a pastor. I was a minister in universalism, and I was deep, man. And I prided myself that I had no formal education from a college or whatever, but I could go up against theologians, and I could battle them, and they would just walk away because they could not stand their ground against me. I was so good. And I'm not saying that to boast now. I'm just saying it so you know, like I'm not unskilled in scriptures. You know, I know the Bible. Do I know everything about the Bible? No, because I believe it would be impossible to know everything about the Bible in one lifetime. I think it would be impossible. Um, it speaks so many truths every time I open it up, and then the Father leads me to you know let's say like the book of John, of John's extra biblical writings, or the book of James, or the Gospel of Thomas, or the origins of the world, and the Nag Hammadi. I read those and I'm just like, wow, I'm blown away that they speak so much truth. It resonates in my spirit. We have to break free from this going to other men and thinking that their doctrine is going to lead and guide us into truth. You have to understand that just because what I say is truth doesn't mean it's truth to you. And you can't just take the words that I say and adopt them as your truth, because then they don't become true to you, right? You have to find it and read it within yourself. Find that information yourself, because then that becomes truth. Otherwise, you're just adopting the words that I say and you're making them yours. You didn't really find that truth on your own. You didn't discover it through the Christ in you. You know what I'm saying? You're taking my word for it, which is how we're in this mess. This is why that when people do come forth and they're speaking the exact same words as Christ, the exact same words as Christ, that people want to they want to punish them the same way they did Christ. They want to beat you, mock you, scoff you, call you a Luciferian, call you a Gnostic, call you New Age, whatever they want to do. They're so quick to put a label on you, because the foundation that they've built their structure on isn't Christ. Their foundation is the doctrines of men. They build their foundation is the doctrines, and they build their whole structure on top of those doctrines. And when you come in and you start to wash away that foundation, and their foundation gets cracks and leaks in it, well, now they're forced to confront that damage that's been done. They have to try to stop that leak, and they enter panic mode just like everybody else does. And if they have a house and you have a storm come through and your house just starts pouring water in through the foundation, you're freaking out. I got stuff in there, it could get destroyed. All my precious little valuables are in the basement, they'll get destroyed. You can't destroy you can't store your treasures here on earth, and you can't go off the doctrines of men. You got to break free. You need to let the Spirit of the Father, the Spirit of Christ in you, lead and guide you into all truth. Because that's the only thing that Christ, when he was here, that's the only thing that's going to lead and guide you into all truth. But what's beautiful about it is you'll start to notice that the Father will start bringing people around you and bringing you to people that he's showing the exact same things to, right? He will, because he wants us in unity. Christ said, I came for a body. He wants unity. He wants us in unity, but we all form different functions. Like I've told you, this is my thumb. How dare my pinky tell my thumb that what it's doing is right or wrong? Because my pinky has no idea what my thumb is supposed to do. But the head, which is supposed to be Christ, knows exactly what the pinky's supposed to do, the thumb, the pointer finger, the middle finger, my elbow. Christ knows the functions of the parts of the body. All we're told to do is perform our function. He'll bring the unity in it, so we know, hey, you're of the body of Christ. Oh, you're of the body of Christ. Oh, you're of the body of Christ. Cool, let's come together and let's perform our functions. Let's do what we're made to do. So big thing with this video, and then the next video I'm going to do is going to be my testimony. I promise you guys, is to don't be scared to go into some extra biblical texts. If the Father is leading you there, then go there. Listen to him. Be obedient, because I promise you, 9 times out of 10, probably 10 times out of 10, you're going to be blessed. He's going to He's going to lead and guide you into a truth that you've known, that you feel in your spirit, but you just maybe haven't been able to pinpoint it to something and say, oh my goodness, this is exactly how I've been feeling. This is exactly what the Father's been telling me in my spirit. I just haven't been able to find it in the Bible, let's say. See what I'm saying? You know, this world is totally corrupt. Kingdom of Truth, you know, watch his videos and he'll tell you. I just heard him speak about this tonight. Everything in this world is a type, it's a shadow, it's a vain image of the heavenly realms, of where the Father is. When Yaldabaoth was created and he thought he was the only God, and he you know, Sophie came down and said, whoa, you God of blindness, you can't see correctly. You are not the only God. There's one above you. And he said, oh, if there is, I demand him to show himself to me. Well, guess what? The Father opened up the 8th realm and he showed himself. And what Yaldabaoth saw was an image of us. We are created in the image of Christ. And he created that image. And then he corrupted it. And the Father was like, no, this isn't going down. You're not going to take an image of me and make an idol, because if you go into Genesis 1:26, like I've been telling y'all for a long time, and you look up the word, when it says, let us make man in our image, the word image means phantom, illusion, vain show, especially an idol. The Father would not make an idol when he told us to don't worship idols. That's just logic, okay? So the idol that Yaldabaoth made, the Father said, nah, I'm going to redeem that. You're not going to take and make an image of me. Matter of fact, you're not going to take and make an image of anything that is in my kingdom and corrupt it. I will restore it. I'll bring it back to purity. I'll bring it back to how it's supposed to be. Just like Kingdom of Truth has been saying, and a lot of others, is the Father is, I believe he will restore it all. He's going to restore it all. He wants it. We're all his children, even if they might be bastard children, even if they might be children that, you know, like, well, you have to read the story and see how Yaldabaoth was made in secret and everything. But the Father is love. The Father is mercy. Do you think that he doesn't extend that out to everything? That he doesn't have a purpose for every single thing that has been made? It all serves a purpose. The Father says, how dare you tell me how to use what I've made? I don't care. It even says in Revelations that those that we call evil, that are evil, the Father has even put it on their hearts to do his will. They just don't know that what they're doing was put on their heart from the Father. In their mind, they're still doing evil. But the Father says, you don't tell me what to do with creation. You don't tell me how I'm supposed to handle something. You don't tell me what that vessel's going to be used for, what that vessel's going to be used for. Oh, that vessel's evil. You can't use that. You don't tell me. I'm the Father. I have a purpose for everything. For everything. You know, sometimes I look at Yaldabaoth, I look at Lucifer and the demonic as kind of like, what's his name from Willy Wonka, that was trying to get Willy Wonka's recipe for the everlasting gobstopper. See, Willy Wonka used him to try to corrupt the children, right? Willy Wonka used him to try to corrupt the children. The children saw them, you're right, out of ignorance, because they didn't know. They saw, I can't remember his daggone name to save my life, but they saw him as evil, right? He wants the recipe from Willy Wonka. Give me the recipe. I'll make all your dreams come true. Well, at the end, Charlie was the only one that gave it back. He was honest, okay? Even though he drank the fizzy lifting drink and the walls had to be washed and all this, he was the only one that gave it back. And then that's when Charlie found out that this guy was working for Willy Wonka. It was to test the children. So, you know, this world is a testing ground, okay? It's a proving ground. It's for us to learn lessons, valuable lessons, like any good king, right? If I'm a king and I have, which I do have sons, but my sons are my heirs, right? They're heirs to the throne. I want them to go into the kingdom and learn any and everything they can about the kingdom that I sit over, that my throne sits over, so that they can know how to be good and take care of the people in the right way. Don't you think that that's the same here? Yeah, and we learn through, that's the best lessons. The lessons that you suffer through, those are ones you will never forget, ever. If I just come in and you're having a hard time in life and I hand you a check for $1 billion and you can pay everything, you're not going to learn to spend money wisely. You're not going to learn to cherish the things that you do have and not live out of excess and all this other stuff. But if you have to work and scrape and learn that lesson, you'll never forget it, ever. And to me, that's something you're not even going to forget in the eternal realm. So if somebody was to come up and try to say, hey, I made this little creation over here, you can become flesh and live forever. You can become flesh and create your own beings through, guess what, this little thing called sex that feels all good. You'll be like, nah, brother, been there once, done it, it won't worth it. I'm gonna stick to being here with the Father. So, just saying. Anyway, guys, look, I love you. Check out Kingdom of Truth's channel. Look him up, man. Awesome brother. Look up Global Witness, Derek Bros. Also, Jeff Daughtry. Look up the Leak Project. And those are pretty much the only ones I'm paying attention to right at the moment. So, I love you guys. Next time, I will give you my testimony. And it's going to be good. So, I love you. Blessings. Until next time, I'll talk to y'all soon, guys.